नमस्कार दोस्तों। एक गरीब घर से आकर एक लड़का जिसकी मां एक फैक्ट्री वर्कर थी और पिता सोवियत नेवी का हिस्सा थे, वो एक शेयर्ड अपार्टमेंट में रहते थे जहां उनकी फैमिली के साथ दो और फैमिलीज भी रहती थी, जहां उन्हें किचन और यहां तक के वॉशरूम भी शेयर करना पड़ता था। वहां से लेकर आज दुनिया के सबसे पावरफुल इंसान, सबसे फियर्ड इंसान और सबसे अमीर इंसान बनने तक का सफर। जी हां दोस्तों, मैं बात कर रहा हूं रशिया के प्रेसिडेंट व्लादिमीर पुतिन की। गरीबी से लेकर रशिया के प्रेसिडेंट बनने का उनका ये सफर किसी फिल्मी कहानी जैसा है जिसमें हीरो भी खुद पुतिन है और विलन भी।
When people think of Vladimir Putin, they think of capital P, power. And that's exactly the impression he creates. Whether it's physical power, firing different weapons, riding in various James Bond-esque modes of transportation, or tossing hapless opponents in judo. Or political power, ruling his own country with an iron fist, crushing his political opposition, or, most recently, being accused of meddling in foreign elections for his own benefit.
Our world is at war. The man waging it is Vladimir Putin. He is the president of Russia. For the longest time, Putin kept the world guessing, will there be a war in Ukraine? Will there not be a war in Ukraine? Then one morning, he decided to shock the world. He invaded Ukraine and dared the world to stop him. If you interfere from outside, you will face consequences, he said. Consequences greater than any you have faced in history. Where does Putin get this nerve from? In 2008, he sent troops to Georgia. In 2014, he annexed Crimea. It's 2022 and Vladimir Putin has single-handedly put Europe in a spot. He has launched a multi-frontal attack on Ukraine. People are calling Putin the new Hitler. दोस्तों, अगर हम पुतिन के बचपन की बात करें तो वो पढ़ाई में उतने इंटरेस्टेड नहीं थे। वो एक विद्रोही स्वभाव के थे, यानी वो एक रिबेलियस नेचर के थे। बच्चे अपने टीचर्स के लिए फूल लेके जाते थे, लेकिन पुतिन अपने टीचर्स को पौधे गिफ्ट करते। वो स्कूल में चाकू लेकर चले जाते थे। उन्हें गिटार बजाना पसंद था। उनके पिता ने उनको बॉक्सिंग सिखानी चाहिए, लेकिन उन्होंने जूडो सीखा और वो जूडो में ब्लैक बेल्ट भी है। पुतिन खुद कहते हैं कि मार्शल आर्ट्स ने उनकी जिंदगी बदल दी। वहां से उन्होंने परसेवरेंस के इंपॉर्टेंस को सीखा। While most school boys dreamt of becoming a doctor or fighter pilot or something glamorous, Putin dreamt of becoming a spy. Before Putin became president, in one of his interviews, he recounts an incident from his university days. He says he was driving a car, his martial arts coach was with him. They were on a road when Putin saw a farm truck passing them. He tried to grab a piece of hay through the car window. Next thing you know, he really lost control of the car. The coach is scared and furious. He turns to Putin and says, "You take risks." Putin replies, "I thought the hay smelled good." Which person looking to lead a country would tell such a story to his voters, like he's James Bond or something, chasing death casually and bragging about it? 16 साल की उम्र में पुतिन केजीबी ऑफिस पहुंच जाते हैं जासूस बनने के लिए। केजीबी रशिया की सीक्रेट एजेंसी है। वहां ऑफिसर्स उन्हें कहते हैं, आप अभी छोटे हो, आप एलिजिबल नहीं हो, थोड़े सालों बाद आना। फिर पुतिन 7 साल बाद वापस आते हैं अपनी लॉ डिग्री खत्म करके। उसके बाद ट्रेनिंग लेते हैं। एक बार जब यूएस के फॉर्मर प्रेसिडेंट जॉर्ज डब्ल्यू बुश पुतिन से मिलते हैं, उसके बाद जॉर्ज डब्ल्यू बुश पुतिन के लिए कहते हैं, ये एक ऐसे इंसान है जो रिश्तों में सुधार लाएंगे, क्योंकि मैंने इनकी आंखों में देखा है, ये वाकई में प्योर इंसान है।
At the time, relations with the US were fairly good. Putin even vacationed at George W. Bush's summer home.
I looked the man in the eye. I found it to be very straightforward and trustworthy.
स्पाई ट्रेनिंग की वजह से पुतिन लोगों को आसानी से बेवकूफ बना सकते हैं, तो इनसे बड़े लीडर्स काफी आसानी से प्रभावित होते हैं। Boris Yeltsin, who was the president of Russia, he resigned in December 1999. He named Vladimir Putin the country's acting president. It was New Year's Eve, 31st of December 1999. At that time, Putin was already married to a former flight attendant. She had no idea her husband was becoming the president of Russia. Putin had known about this for days, that he is going to be the president, but he never told his wife. He did not tell her he would be the next president. That's how secretive Vladimir Putin can be. पुतिन को 2 बार 2014 में और 2021 में नोबेल पीस प्राइज के लिए नॉमिनेट किया गया था। आज कुछ लोग ये भी मानते हैं कि सीक्रेटली यही दुनिया का सबसे अमीर इंसान भी है। आज उनके पास 43 प्लेन्स, 7000 से ज्यादा कार्स और एक सोने से बना हुआ टॉयलेट भी है। जिन्होंने भी पुतिन को क्रिटिसाइज किया, पुतिन ने उनको नहीं छोड़ा। पुतिन इज सो पावरफुल कि जब रशिया के सबसे अमीर इंसान ने उनके ऑपोजिशन पार्टी को कैंपेन के लिए फंड किया, उन्हें टैक्स इवेजन के चार्जेस के अंडर 14 सालों के लिए जेल में डाल दिया गया।
Well, once Russia's richest man, imprisoned Kremlin critic and former oil magnate Mikhail Khodorkovsky was sentenced to 14 years in jail, this on a new conviction of embezzling oil.
This is effectively a vendetta from Vladimir Putin for Khodorkovsky getting involved in opposition politics.
He has invaded an European country in the year 2022. Again, where does Putin get this nerve from? Experts believe Putin picked his dictatorial traits from a former boss. Putin was once the deputy mayor of St. Petersburg. His boss was the city's mayor. His name was Anatoly Sobchak. Putin admired him and is said to have subconsciously picked his traits. Today, Putin's authoritarianism is out in the open. You see, if we have to understand the war in Ukraine, we must first understand Vladimir Putin, the man who is pulling the strings of this war. What's in his mind? What has shaped his life? So, where do we start?
Judo.
Vladimir Putin was once a KGB agent. KGB is the Soviet spy agency. When Putin was training for it in 1975, his trainers found out a flaw in the young man. They said Putin had a diminished sense of danger. In other words, what may seem dangerous to you and me may not seem dangerous to Vladimir Putin. He acknowledges this in his biography. He says back in his KGB days, a negative trait often ascribed to him was his lowered sense of danger. The spy agency considered this a very serious flaw. Well, they were not wrong. Look at what's happening now. Putin's dangerous invasion in Ukraine. पुतिन के प्रेसिडेंट टर्म को अगर हम ध्यान से देखेंगे तो उनके हर एक टर्म में एक वॉर जरूर होता है। पुतिन वर्ष 2000 से 2004, फिर वर्ष 2004 से 2008 के बीच रशिया के प्रेसिडेंट रहे। रशिया में ये रूल था कि वहां पे कोई भी प्रेसिडेंट कंटिन्यूसली 2 बार से ज्यादा प्रेसिडेंट नहीं बना रह सकता। इसलिए पुतिन 2 बार जब प्रेसिडेंट रह चुके थे, फिर उन्होंने एक ब्रेक दिया और 2008 में वो प्रेसिडेंट की बजाय रशिया के प्राइम मिनिस्टर बन गए। फिर 2012 में उन्होंने कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन में एक नया चेंज लाकर प्रेसिडेंट टर्म को 4 साल से बढ़ाकर 6 साल कर दिया और 2 बार से ज्यादा प्रेसिडेंट ना बनने की जो शर्त थी उसे भी खत्म कर दिया। लोग अब ये भी कहते हैं कि पुतिन अब लाइफ टाइम रशिया के प्रेसिडेंट रह सकते हैं। Reports say the Russian parliament had no clue about his plans of invading Ukraine either. Yes, he asked for permission to send troops to foreign lands, but the lawmakers never thought he would actually attack Ukraine. In fact, Putin never even needed that permission. He is the commander-in-chief of the Russian armed forces. He can send troops to wherever he likes. So, going to the parliament was a stunt, and Putin likes stunts. He once dived deep into the Black Sea. We have seen Putin fishing, arm wrestling, posing bare-chested, riding a horse, a Harley-Davidson, showing off his butterfly skills in water, co-piloting a jet, attaching a satellite transmitter to a tiger, and hunting. It seems Putin can survive the wild better than Bear Grylls. पुतिन की पर्सनैलिटी दुनिया के किसी भी नेता से बहुत अलग है। वो कभी फिल्म के किसी हीरो की तरह शर्ट उतारकर हॉर्स राइडिंग करते हैं, कभी वो जिम में वर्कआउट करते हुए दिखते हैं, बर्फ जितने ठंडे पानी में उन्हें स्विमिंग करना पसंद है और उन्हें अलग अलग ब्रीड्स के डॉग पालने का भी शौक है, जिससे वो एक बार जर्मनी के फॉर्मर चांसलर एंजेला मर्केल को भी डरा चुके हैं। और वो इन सब के बीच ऐसे एक नेता भी है जो पूरे दुनिया को ब्लफ करने में माहिर है। There's one more real story about Putin. It is said that when Putin was the mayor of St. Petersburg, his daughter met with an accident. She was injured, he was at work. So he did not go to see his daughter and instead he sent his deputy to attend to the little girl. He is also often late even when meeting with very important people. It is a form of psychological manipulation that Putin uses to show that he is the one in control. Putin once took a Formula 1 racing car on a high-speed test drive. He is also a talented hockey player. He divorced his wife after an alleged affair with an Olympic gymnast. Putin used to hunt rats as a child. Putin was once given a Siberian tiger cub as a birthday gift. In the last 14 years, he has gone to war thrice. He will remain in power until 2036. That's 14 more years. He is a boy from a working class family who climbed his way to the Kremlin and became the face of Moscow. He has the backing of powerful KGB officers. He has Russia's Richie Rich on his side. He has been in power for 22 years now. That's Vladimir Putin for you.